Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Lotusthesage. I'm Lotus. Today we're going to do a love reading for my singles in particular, or situationships. But if you are attached, please feel free to use any of these messages in the way that suits your dynamic the best. We have three options. We have our first option is going to be the star. Excuse me. The second is going to be the two hearts. And the third is the yin and yang. So those are your three options, my beautiful collective. I randomly selected them from the charms. Just so you know, we're going to look into your sexual tarot, threads of fate, some love messages. The love messages, just so you know, they tend to be a little bit more sweet. So just keep that in mind. And then we'll go into your charms and we'll see what else they have to add. Alright, my collective, I will see you at your pile. Ciao. Welcome, my star pile, or my pile 1. Let's see what the overall energy is when it comes to your love dynamic currently. Surrender. I'm hearing surrender to your knowing. I'm getting the close your eyes and feel. Surrender to the uncertainty and the expectations. Loosen your grip. Let go of the control. Trying too hard to micromanage your love life is creating more obstacles than are necessary. You're giving yourself little speed bumps because you're trying again to micromanage. Surrender to all beautiful possibilities and let go of the doubt. There is a need for you to surrender the how things are going to play out or should meet somebody or what should be done. They're asking you to loosen your grip on your perception of people in a sense, and I think they're asking you to lighten your judgments. I'm hearing surrender to the all-knowing. Connect into the source tone of your heart space and the answers will come. Clarity will come, but you first must surrender and let go of the control. Okay, those are your channel messages for surrender. So that's what it feels like roughly, that Spirit is asking you to let go of your grip and let go of how you think things should play out, what they should look like, how they should approach you. Of course, we have our preferences, but allow for some more play within those preferences. Not everything needs to be so serious and so specifically goal-oriented. Relax, they said. Enjoy where you are. Make sure that you are in the right energy for you to be receptive to receive the energy that you are seeking, the person that you are hoping for, the frequency that you'd like to create with another. It has to start within first. Right now you are still looking on the external for a type of comfortability and a support, and that is still a form of using in a way, but right now they want you to find your own source of that comfort, that security, that love. And I think that's the reason why Spirit is either putting on hold, delaying, or making you feel like nothing is happening for you. There is a reflective period that needs to happen when it comes to your love life and how you are attracting or what you're attracting into your sphere. Okay, let's look at your sexual tarot. We have the Ten of Wands, the Page of Wands, Five of Swords, Eight of Wands, and you have Justice. I'm getting, based on the energy of these, the sexual tarot. So the Ten of Wands talks about penetrating. Your Page of Wands talks about caressing. The Five of Swords references shaking things up. The Eight of Wands talks about savoring, and Justice talks about a meeting. So I'm getting like either you guys had a romp in the hay, very enticing, very savory, very sensual, but it ended up feeling like a one-night stand. It's like, when are we going to have this meeting again? And I feel like you might be possibly in a limbo of like, what's happening now? When are we going to meet up again? That's the energy I'm getting, especially because of this Five of Swords. And if you can sort of see his face there, it's kind of cheeky, and it's like, yeah, one more lady of the night, you know? It's just, it feels a little detached, not necessarily in a good way. It feels very player type energy is what I'm getting. So I'm either feeling like they're asking you to surrender this type of either energies, behavior, allowing yourself to get into these situations, either where you entertain sexual encounters much faster than you should, meaning you're trusting people that you feel like you might have some more with, but they're not really showing up. They're playing a good game is what I'm hearing. And it feels like, I don't know why I'm getting that, but it feels like they're like savoring in the fact that they somewhat conquered you. Oh, that's what I'm getting. It's interesting that I'm feeling that way. That's one energy. The other energy that I'm getting can be just your last sexual encounter with this person, which was passionate, hot and heavy, a lot of kissing. It was exciting. It did shake things up, and it was an awesome, savory moment of meeting up with each other. There could be an allowance of that, or to surrender to this possibility of this happening. There can be any way that this might resonate for your situation. But the strongest feeling I'm getting is my viewer, I feel like there's a waiting for you or from you. It feels like I don't feel like you've heard from this person in a minute, or it feels like the time that has passed between this encounter and now has been too long for you. They just said 8 days. 8 days too long. Interesting. Okay. So let's see what some of the love messages are. We have 3 of them. We're going to go put 2 on the side, which is 2 of them that you may or may not know about, and then 1 that you don't know about at all. First one. Sometimes when I'm busy, I pause to think of you, and it's like a breath of fresh air. That could be your energy or theirs. I have a feeling that it's more theirs. There is like a withholding from this person in a sense. Wow. 1 and 2. I'm a better person because of you. I feel more optimistic and full of life. What I just heard, I'm getting this sort of like energy vampiric type of energy. Somebody that may have unconsciously or subconsciously drained some of your vital energy that is making you feel in the sense of lack right now, and they're just like, woo, I just got a boost. Like, it feels like you gave them like an energetic transfusion. And this is why I'm so particular about energetic exchanges when it comes to sexual encounters, because of this type of possibility. It does feel like that, because it feels a little bit more like you were either more invested in the possibility of this being something more, which is still a possibility, don't get me wrong, if you're not actually together, but there's something about it that feels too frivolous, unstable, inconsistent, not reliable. But there is an undeniable passion between the two of you. It's very obvious here. There's no denying that. Don't get me wrong. I don't personally, as this reader here, I am not feeling that I would trust this entirely. It's asking you also to find a new perspective on what has been going on within this dynamic. A part in the description of the surrender, it says, we want to be of benefit to others and this earth, but can become disillusioned by all that is quote-unquote wrong. It's asking you to accept where you are and allowing your space to become clear, like we talked about. What do you need to surrender that will allow both personal and widespread progress? Can you hold space for that progress? That's that main energy that I'm getting when it comes to, like, I'm not sure what this is, so don't just take my word for it, because you know the situation much better than I do. But based on this, it feels very uneasy or unsure or a little bit hot and cold. And then what you may not know, you are so damn beautiful that I freeze in your presence and fear making a fool of myself. That's the underneath energy that you don't know. So maybe that's what that is. Maybe that's what that cold, that hot and cold is, or that fearfulness, or maybe that just that boost that I'm getting from the person that took some of this energy that was freely and wanting to be given. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it wasn't consensual. It just feels like this, maybe a slight inadequacy in the person. They feel maybe they're not up to par to keep a person like you. It's different to get somebody like you, but to keep somebody like you is a thing. So just know that underneath that underlying energy is they feel that you are the most beautiful, and they freeze in your presence, and they think they're going to make a fool of themselves. Maybe that's the reason why there is some distance, yeah? Okay. Let's look into your charms, my beautiful surrender pile. There's a lot here. Let's see what we got. Okay, we have the protection rune. So you are guided and protected on this journey no matter what's happening. You have that warrior rune. You have the strength and fortitude exactly to see where you need to surrender. And we have disruption, which is what's kind of happening right now, right? It's like asking you to find some strength and be that strong warrior that you are within the disruption that you're feeling and what's happening in this situation right now. You have this beautiful parrot and grapes ring, and that talks about sweet communication for me. We have the moon and stars, talking about peace is soon to come into this connection. I love you. We have the clear quartz, where we were talking about clarity, right? It's coming in, but allow yourself to surrender. We have only one initial, and that's an S. So take that if it resonates. We have a blossoming rose. Again, developments may be happening in this, can happen in this connection. You have a fortune that says you are optimistic and outgoing. They admire that in you. And then we have the pumpkin. October can be significant. Halloween could be a favorite. This could have happened in the fall. There's also winter is significant, and there's a blossoming of something that may have happened in the colder seasons, an expansion of sorts. You have the moon, which is talking to me about unrevealed emotions that soon may come to light. Yep, same thing. You have a double moon. So I'm getting that there's a lot, and that crescent moon there is giving me an opening to this emotional truths that want to be presented. You have a balancing, You have a balancing coming in for you. Slow progress though, but there's a balancing of these energies. Candlelight may be significant. Might have had a candlelight dinner. Candles just might be around as ambiance when this interaction happened. And then we have this beautiful character here who's writing a sigil into the ground, which is a protection sigil for this connection is what I'm getting. And again, talking about the emotions, diving deep, exploring them, communicating. Yeah, there's just a lot of emotions that haven't been revealed. A lot of communication that hasn't been had. A lot of listening with the seashell that still needs to be honored, you know? So there is a deep connection with this person. It is here. There's a very sexual connection also with this person. They're very grateful for their interaction with you, but their actions right now feel as if they feel that they may not be up to the task of being able to maintain what they think in their perspective you deserve and you want. There is a little bit of a hiding of their, not a little bit, there is a hiding of the emotions. So either in this winter, this sort of disruption happen, and in October you might see, or in the fall seasons, might see some sort of blossoming here. Serenity is coming in. Stand strong. Know that you're protected, my beautiful Pile 1. I hope that was helpful for you, my collective of Pile 1. If it helped you in any way, please let me know. Leave a like. It would be really helpful. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, this is Lotus. Ciao. Welcome my deck 2, or my 2 hearts. We're going to look into your overall energy of your situation, and then we will get into your cards, your sexual tarot. We have the Magi. I'm being told that you have this beautiful ability to perceive the bigger picture, to step outside and be the observer so that you do not get too entrenched or entangled within your own emotions that prevents you from seeing situations clearly. You have a beautiful manifesting ability that is gentle and considerate. There's a feeling of you manifesting this energy person into your life. And I heard what you are seeking is seeking you. Keep your thoughts and affirmations light-hearted and very pliable. You have a type of, they're showing me this type of beacon. You have a beacon within you that guides you towards the right souls for you. It doesn't mean that these souls are going to be easy in a sense to handle, meaning like completely compatible and no sort of friction. It's like your soul is always on the path of evolution and enlightenment. And because of that, universe and your energy always tends to pull you towards the things that are going to help you level up either as quickly or more fully. They're giving me a feeling of you have, like they said, mass attraction. It's like there's a lot of people that find you beautiful, admirable, talented, sweet, gifted, honest, lovely. Interesting. And they're saying because of that, there's a tendency for people sometimes to prejudge you and assume things about you that indirectly closes off opportunities. And that has nothing to do with you per se, and that's not your journey, but they're just bringing that to my awareness for you to know that it's not always your fault. It's not you in a sense. It's like it's not that you're doing something wrong or you're missing something or that you don't have something to offer. It's the other people that you're engaging with sometimes have insecurities and doubts about themselves because they see your light shining so bright, that beacon that I talked about. They said you're still trying on clothes, so to speak, when it comes to relationships, and right now you're trying to find something that fits you more comfortably. They're giving me like a model, like most traditional model, right? They can fit into anything, so they say, right? But what feels the best? What do you like the best? What hugs you the sweetest, you know? It's that type of energy where they're saying you're still trying on clothes. You've gotten a lot of things that fit nice, look nice, polished and sweet, but in the end you're still scratching your skin or uncomfortable because it's too tight somewhere, metaphorically speaking. The Magi is also the seer of illusions, and in turn they are able to cut through the fog and get to work. The Magi may see the world similar to a mirrored funhouse. They see the core of each experience and are able to acknowledge how many different realities exist in a single moment. Even a balanced Magi can frustrate people. They have some trickster energy in that they can see the bigger picture, like we said, and may know the answer, but they will present the information to you in a way that may spin your head. They are gifted with words, and everything they say can have multiple meanings. And I think that's what I was channeling earlier. It's like, I can allow myself to step out of this and see what's actually happening here for my best benefit. And so why Spirit brought up for my attention to you, it's like, it's not you sometimes, lovely, because you're doing the work on you. It's these souls that are being a reflection of you to reinforce, to reiterate, and to show you how strong, beautiful, and magnetic you are. So don't doubt that. Amazing. Let's go into your tarot. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. What am I telling you? The Empress, and the Knight of Swords. It's so funny because I always joke about this card. I'm like, if you see this Knight of Pentacles, this guy's giving her a fucking lemon. Like, what are you doing? Why are you giving her a lemon? It's just jokes to me. So I always feel with this Knight of Pentacles being the slowest moving knight in the deck, again, giving you crumbs. It's like you feel like all these people are just, there's no real connection. It's like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll take this. Like, you're being nice. Like, that's what it feels like. It's like, thanks. Crickets, you know? And then so you may allow yourself to go into these scenarios, like bring in some momentary pleasure, you know, but then again, there's this, like, if you see this, there's all these like worshipy type energies, like, which is not a bad thing, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about that, but this like passion and pleasure here, you know, the guy just feeding her and adorning her with fruit and abundant sensuality, and then this Queen of Wands here being like, yeah, but like, is that it? Like, is this all you got? Again, just, it feels, maybe that is what you want. Don't let my bias sway whatever you're getting. It's just, I'm feeling a sense of these guys, I wanted to say boys. These boys are coming to this Empress here. It's like, this is who you are, and this being able to see the perspectives of what certain opportunities can bring in for you, right? Which is why you allow yourself to explore and you experiment and you're like, okay, well, let me just see. I know this is a fucking lemon, but let's see what happens. Ooh, great sex, great. But then what? You're like, okay, that was fun. Okay, bye. And then you're here standing by yourself, not by yourself, but like in your throne, in your own beautiful glory. And this Knight of Swords makes me think of, they say that like the spying card, so to speak, or the one that like stalks your social media or sees what you're up to or likes everything that you do but doesn't really communicate with you. It's that kind of energy is what I'm getting. And also I'm also feeling like this in this card in particular, where there's like, they're playful, right? But that girl's just like, it just feels young to me. That's the best way I can say it. It feels young. Again, nothing wrong with it. There's no judgments here. But it's like, I've already, like, I can play this role for you. Like, I can do that. But, like, where's my king? You know, it's like, I got a knight here, I got a knight here, and you got an empress and a queen. Like, it's like, yeah, sex might be good, but they're all boys. And all of these boys, you know, can be a fun experience. I can see what I can gain from this, having some more sexual explorations. Great. But like, where's my emperor? That's what I'm getting. It's like a lot of dating, a lot of great, maybe possible sexual compatibility, but there's no intellectual compatibility here. There's no moral compatibility here. It's just you experiencing right now and you waiting for your frickin' emperor. That's what it feels like. Okay. So these love messages tend to be, like I said, a little bit sweet. So this can be messages from the person on your mind or the future people that you may encounter. And then the last energy that we unfold is going to be something you don't know about yourself that either this person has thought of or somebody else in your environment. 3. You inspire me so much. You are my muse. And this is what I'm getting with all these young bucks, you know? You're my muse. Here's a lemon. Look at them just adoring you, adorning you, adorning you. You know, this young entity is one sort of like taking control, but again, it's sort of like, okay, I can do this because I'm choosing to be submissive for you. It's not like this is the only thing for me where it feels like this is this person. They're in that pentacle energy. They're just very grounded, maybe very slow moving. There's one that can be really sexually exciting, but nothing really happens of. And then there's another one that's really great, but you're like, this is all that you're good for. And then there's like you being like, well, I can masturbate better than this. And you're chilling out. And then there's the Knight of Swords where you're like, okay, well, I could have some fun with this sort of like dominatrix type of vibe, but at the same time, it's not the only layer to me. And I feel like that's what it is. Everybody's just had one layer of you, and you're like, where is the full onion? So you're just everybody's muse in a different way, whether that be like wifey type, whether that be sexual type, whether that be a creative type, whether that be intellectual type. But you're like, I need all. I don't want one, I want all of it in one. Then we have 3s might be significant for you, pal, too. Number 13, you are like an angel that came into my life to heal and nurture me. See what I mean? You know, it's like there's so much like adoration and devotion. But again, I think the reason why I'm feeling so like weighted by that is because I don't feel like you want it from these people. It's not like you don't want it. Let me rephrase that. I don't feel like it's as well... It doesn't have as much weight from these people because there's not a connection from you to them. Like, they're connected to you. They're feeling full attraction to you. You're naturally nurturing and giving. Like I said, you are the Empress. So, of course, you're going to be their muse. Of course, you're going to feel like you're this freaking angel that popped out of nowhere that can, like, just nurture and guide because you are full in your being. Where, like I said, these guys are just fractals of themselves. Just, yeah. Okay. Something that you don't know. Whenever I see flowers, I think of you. Aw, that's beautiful. And you know what I just got? Whoever or whatever, whoever may be saying this one, I feel is that 10 of Pentacles. When I said that the sex was great, but nothing else happened after that. That's what I'm feeling. It's like you might come back to this person every once in a while, but it is just that. Maybe friends with benefits. This one is like a young buck is what I'm getting, like strictly here for sex. This one's like, sweet guy, really romantic, stable, comfortable. This one's just like freaky deaky, can fuck with your brain in a good sense, you know, in the sense of just that mental stimulation. That's what I'm getting, but this one feels like it's this person if there are multiple people. Or it could be, you know, different sides of a personality of somebody that you are 2 different personalities. But I'm getting multiple people here, like 4. Okay, let's see what your charms have to say. Okay, let's see what we got. We have breakthrough. So maybe there's going to be a great breakthrough happening here because of your perspective and you not allowing yourself to get too caught up in these energies, which is nice. This birdie, which is talking for me, about communication and to dream big, to send out, to speak your dreams into the universe, for them to bring it into your universe. Beautiful. We have this snake, that Kundalini rising, that evolution. I'm getting a sexual potency too that will be bringing in, that will come in with this. All attached here. Oh well. Well, these two seem to be attached. That's curious. So we have a little skull here that says energize, and then we have a maple leaf. So I'm getting a 9 on the back, which is a completion of a cycle. So I'm getting maybe in the 9th month, which is September, which is also fall. That might be really significant, where there's like a booster in energy, there is an input or an influx of romantic energy within the fall seasons. This seems to be a thing right now. You have your solar plexus chakra that will be lighting up. That might be a part of what Kundalini is awakening in you, a little bit more of that self-expression. The bumblebee. Oh, how cute he is. Which is my symbol for a sweet and divine union coming in for you, specifically a masculine energy. We have the Death card. Could be a Scorpio, talks about a rebirth. Happiness coming in. I think that's a part of that breakthrough. You know, with leaving all of these young boy energies behind. This one has come up for every group so far. This is technically it's the Capricorn little thingy that I had from a calendar, but she's drawing a sigil in the ground and solidifying and protecting what she desires, what this person desires. Sweet communication coming in with that parrot and the grapes. We have a secret. I heard a secret's about to come out, and it's like just in time. It's about time. The secret will be revealed. It's about time. That's fun. We have the rainbow quartz. And I'm specifically getting this time around clear communication when it comes to heart and emotional matters, reinforcing with this pink, I know it looks white, but this pink star, talking about your third eye, crown chakra. L, B, or S initials can be significant. Marijuana also can be significant, or cannabis. That these worth its weight in gold. Which these, excuse me, like I was saying, which these guys are talking about that muse energy, right? So the two letters we have are a W and a Q. Not very common letters to come out. But that can stand for anything for you. A place, a person, middle name, doesn't matter. Again, talk about emotions being revealed. That's what this moon symbol is for me. And the other letters, we have 2 G's and a V. So this person could have double letters in their name, obviously the GGs, or the V, W, Q, L, B, or S could be significant. So what I'm seeing here, that there is going to be a definite significant change in your romantic life for sure. There's going to be a breakthrough of sorts, and I feel like you're going to either encounter a new energy, a new person coming into your life that's going to fulfill a lot more of what has been lacking currently in your life, that is going to make you super happy and clear up any of these emotional hurts that may have been occurring because you just, you know, like I said, felt like it was kind of like your fault in a sense, like what are you doing wrong, or what don't I have to offer, something along those lines. But keep dreaming big, because there is somebody coming in for you for sure. Yeah, especially with this, especially with this heart, and always, like, there is somebody here for you, and they're just, I feel like you may have just needed to see this about your worth, for you to be like, it's not just about the partners or having somebody there, it's like, who's really going to be compatible with me? you know. And this, whenever I see flowers, I think of you. The only picture in this one that actually has flowers, they have shrubbery, but the Empress is the only one that has flowers, you know. That's that person who sees you that way. That's the one. Beautiful. Okay, my beautiful collective that chose number 2. I hope that was helpful. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, this is Lotus. Ciao. Welcome, my pile 3, my yin and yang pile. Let's see what your overall love energies are. We have the paradox. Ain't that the truth? I'm feeling that the paradox has to do with the actual scenarios that you may find yourself in, and also the paradox within your thoughts. For example, it's you could deep down really want, like, again, this is just for example purposes, like to have that, you know, home, family, children, that's the trajectory that you want. But your lifestyle right now is very free-spirited, single, traveling, not in one place very often. So not that either one of those is good or bad, it's just if what you're wanting is the other, then your lifestyle or choices might need to alter for you to get what you're seeking. The paradox can also apply to, I feel like, no, in all fairness, the paradox more feels like a perception or a perspective, excuse me, about certain dynamics or encounters. And I actually feel that you've been trying to, like, expand what your normal, let's say, for lack of a better word, preferences when it comes to dating people. Like, if we're going to talk about it in like an online profile type of deal, like, because it's also like heavily picture based, and if they're not really good at describing who or what they are and they choose really shitty pictures, it can really take away from the possibility of seeing somebody. And that's what I really hate about this online stuff. That's my personal opinion. But it feels like you've still been trying to expand what your normal, let's say, preferences are when it comes to dating, and you still have been finding these same sort of quote-unquote paradoxes within all different types of suitors, you know. And you're like, well, what am I missing here? What am I not seeing? What am I not connecting is what I'm getting. I'm going to read a little bit from the book, or the definition. This card is a reminder that we can hold two extremes at the same time. Sometimes we focus on things, whether internal or external, and see them as one-sided. But to hold the paradox within us requires strength. To see our most brilliant qualities and our most ugly, to acknowledge that they both live within us, is a gateway to growth. If we have been raised in a rigid environment where things are viewed as black and white, it may be hard for us to accept our flaws, let alone love them. One of the best ways to slowly enter a relationship with our internal paradox is to remind ourselves that we did not create these things within us. We inherited them. It does not define us, and yet we are responsible for it. To work more deeply with paradox, as you witness yourself throughout the day, identify what types of thoughts you have more of, positive or negative. From there, find the polar extreme. For example, maybe you thought, I'm so fucking lazy. Acknowledge a couple things that makes that true. Then find the polar opposite. For example, working harder and acknowledging a few things or experiences that prove that you are working hard. So, in conjunction with what I said when I gave you that analogy of family and then the free spirit, it's like, if those are both of who you are, then how do you bring closer the paradox? How do you bring that space closer together that truly starts to emanate who you actually are, which will therefore in turn bring that energy back to you, which is how it works. So either you're going to either need to honor the paradoxes within yourself and be more fully truthful and honest with that, so that when you do encounter your romantic pursuits, you're a lot more clear about, for one, for you and your perspective, what you're looking for because you know yourself better, and two, what your boundaries are, and then what you can share with the other person for exploration of compatibility. Okay, let's see what your sexual tarot says. King of Pentacles. Seven of Cups came out in reverse. Seven of Pentacles. Sevens might be really significant for you. Seven of Wands. And then Death. So the King of Pentacles in this deck talks about fear. The Seven of Cups talks about flights of fancy. The Seven of Pentacles talks about boredom. The Seven of Wands talks about whispering. And Death talks about abandoning. What I'm getting is there might be this fear that the only way to navigate within this romantic climate of our society is to be frivolous, is to be a little bit promiscuous, if that's the word that they would choose. It's like flights of fancy and you're bored with it. You're like, all this whispering, all this nonsense, I'm done with this bullshit. Like, I'm fearful that I'm not going to get like what I actually want. And so I feel like the only way for me to get some sort of intimacy in this type of sense is for me to indulge in these flights of fantasies and these flights of fancies. And I get bored with this way of doing things, you know, and then it becomes like stuff behind people's back because there's no real established relationship, but there's still some intimacy and some connection. But then there's like this weird in-between space that you continuously end up finding yourself in, which is what you're trying to end, is that abandon this way of being, abandon the fear, abandon this like flightiness, this easiness. Like, you want something of substance that will stick, that will last, that will hold. And it is also making me think of, again, this does not come up often, that my viewer, you might be the mistress or the third party, so to speak. And you end up finding yourselves in situations where you are like the temptress, and always feeling like never chosen first. Not never chosen, but often chosen second. And there's a want to end that cycle, to end that paradox within you. Because, like, again, if they're talking about that paradox of you being like fully comfortable exploring the sexual side of you, but then you end up being categorized in a certain way that keeps you like the mistress when you're actually the wifey. Do you know what I'm getting at? Like, that's sort of the feeling I'm getting. Okay. So these are love messages. Like I said, they're kind of sweet. The last one is going to be something that you don't know. These energies can be about people that you've had encounters with. It could be future energies of people that might say or think these things. So keep an open mind. I can't help mentioning you to my close friends or family members. That they just gave me something else. They said that there's a possibility that you could possibly be sort of semi-engaged with somebody or on and off with somebody, or like a light, easy sort of connection, that they have way more attraction to you than you do to them. And I feel like there's a possibility that there's like whispers of like future, and you're like, oh my god, I don't feel anything close to this person, which is where this boredom might be coming in too, which is where these whispers might be coming in, why you want to end this before it gets anywhere farther. Because again, it's this flights of fancy being like, yeah, I'm just indulging in these things, but like, this wasn't supposed to be serious. Interesting. 54. You are different from anyone I know, yet you feel so familiar. And I think this is what this sort of gets you feeling in this paradox. It's like, it's so interesting. It's like you get yourselves in these situations because you want to be involved in them, because you're trying to experience and trying to connect and trying to get intimate with people, right? You're exploring. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing to find that, you know, your prince, so to speak, or your king, I should say. And within that, it's like people are like, oh my gosh, this person's amazing. They're this, and this. And they're like, they're so different, but like, I just feel so connected. And you're like, oh my God, like, I can get there, but this encounter did not make me feel like this was where this was going, or that it was this deep. I thought we were just banging and hitting it and quitting it, you know? Like, it almost feels like you're a little bit more in the masculine stereotypical energy than the people that you're encountering. Okay, and something that you don't know about yourself. 33. Even though we are so different, I feel so connected to you. Interesting. So there is somebody in particular, like, you are so different from anyone I know, yet you feel so similar. And even though we are so different, I feel so connected. So there is one person in particular that I am feeling that you may not have thought that there was more there than there was. So I invite you to either explore that and find what that is, and that death could be the transformation of that, meaning the ending of maybe the non-committal type of energy, and then into something more that could just be, and that might be what that paradox is like this person might feel all these things for you, but all you're getting is sort of like this like light and fluffy energy where it's like, where is this really going? There's no real substance to this. So I feel that somebody that you might feel that, you know, it could work, but just they didn't give you any signals that this was a thing or that they were that interested. I feel like that might be the person who is really thinking about you a lot. Trying to balance out that energies within them. Maybe that's also about that yin and yang too. It's perfect for that paradox. You know, it's trying to find that balance within the energetic exchanges and within your thoughts about maybe some of the people that you have had encounters with and how you might be viewing the possibilities of them with them. Alright, let's see what your charms have to add, my beautiful pile threes. Okay, well, the rose clean this one out for everybody. Okay. We have, you are bold and daring, and others admire these qualities in you. Somebody else got that too. You have the matches, which is lighting a fire. There's a spark that's going to be ignited within this connection or new connections coming in. A wish is granted. Wish. Poof. Granted. We have possessions. Maybe there is a difference in status between you and this person. Maybe that's what some of that difference is, or there's a cultural difference, or there's like a religious difference. There could be some sort of other paradox in that sense. We have the binoculars. This person is definitely keeping an eye on you. I feel like it's this person, whoever that is. And I feel like it might actually be this King of Pentacles, which is interesting because it's like 777, triple sevens. And then we have a major arcana and a court card. So it's like a transformation or a new start or rebirth. And that fear, right? That King of Pentacles, what is that? Who is that for you? Whoever that King of Pentacles might be for you. Again, it could be any earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. It could be specifically a Taurus and Scorpio. Yeah, so I would say the earth signs and the Scorpio are the main astrological signs that are showing up. Then we have the moon and star, which for me talks about an enlightenment to emotions that were hidden. You have the eye, which is for me a knowing, using that sixth sense, closing your eyes to feel. We have the letter P, P, W. Everybody got double letters. So you guys, first group got H's, second group got G's, you got double P's. So we have double P, B, R, Y, and W. Those are the letters. So they can be anybody's names, initials, whatever words you see here. And an E, sorry. You have a secret hug always. I just heard the person who gives you really good hugs, that's somebody for you to think about. Temperance, talking about balancing these energies. We have why not? And always. You have always twice. Maybe there's a repeat cycle with somebody in particular, or a pattern that you've been seeing that you've been repeating with other people in general. We have the owl. So talk about truths being revealed, wisdom being gained, information being given. We have this, again, another double Taurus type of energy. We have this I love you, and it's like in a cake of some kind, you know, which is sort of like baked with love, something that, a gesture of love, kindness, something along those lines. We have growth with this plant. Like we talked about, there will be new growth or a new opportunity possibly for transformation. You have this crown. When I said talking about that king, who's that king, you know? I feel like that's what this is symbolizing. It's giving you a double confirmation. And I said cycles, right? Yeah, it feels like you possibly have cycles with this person or this type of energy in particular. So it feels like status or possessions might be a contender in this. This person is watching you. You also have a you watching you. That was right underneath here. Yeah, there is growth, there is communication going to come in, there's going to be enlightenment to things that were hidden, in a sense, and that might be just from your perspective of you, like you clearing up what this paradox is within yourself. Therefore, you know, your outside world tends to reflect that back at you. Again, blossoming with this flower, this growing. Yeah, my beautiful collective, so there is something coming in for you for sure, and I strongly, heavily feel that whoever this King of Pentacles may be for you in your life, I feel more strongly than the Scorpio energy, if I'm being fair. Sagittarius came up too with your Temperance, so that, again, fire sign, possibly, but it really feels like an earth sign that could have water placements or have their Venus in a Scorpio, something along those lines. Taurus is extremely heavy in this. Sevens might be extremely significant for you. Angels have got you. It's a good spiritual number. You have 9, you have 11, and you have 6. So multiples of 3s. 11 is a master number. Yeah, okay, my beautiful paradox group. I hope that was helpful and gave you some insight into what's happening in your love life. If you do find it helpful, don't forget to hit that button. And I'm sending you so much love. Until next time, my beautiful collective. I'll see you. Ciao.